Okay, Excel friends, so we're going to use Excel's very handy goal seek function, and we're going to use it for something that you might want to do at some point, which is to find out what grade you would need in order to earn a particular grade in a course. So we're going to set that up by going to the worksheet grade calculator. And we'll try to calculate three things. First, we'll do a goal seek to see what we would need to earn on the final exam in order to get a B plus for the class, and that's a minimum grade of 87. What we would need to get if we wanted to get an A minus for the course, that's a minimum grade 90. And what we would need to get if we want to get a B for the course, that's a minimum grade 83. So now that I'm in grade calculator here, I've got some percentages. These are the percentages in my class for all of the various different assignments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to format these as a percent. So I clicked from B2 to B9, clicked on percent. Column C shows the score earned by this particular student on the various different assignments except for the final exam. And since this course sometimes has partial point credit, I'm going to highlight from C2 down to C8, and I'm going to increase the decimal point by 1. And now to figure the impact for the score of 95 that I got on technical exercises, I'm going to say equal into cell D2, then I'm going to click on cell B2 and multiply that by cell C2, press enter. Now I'll click on D2, double click on the autofill handle, and this is going to copy the formula down throughout column D. Now Excel copied the formula all the way down to cell D10, which isn't exactly what I want, so I'm going to click in D10, then I'm going to click on AutoSum so that it sums up all of the values in my points toward final grade. That's in the range D2 through D9. So the question is, what do I need to score on my final exam in order to get a particular grade? So if I want to get an 87 for this course, which is a B+, I can simply go over here into cell C9 and continue to try out different values. Now it could take quite a bit of trial and error to figure out the exact grade I need, but the good news is Excel has a feature called Goal Seek that will find exactly the value that I'll need. Now I'm in the Home tab right now, but I'm going to click on the Data tab, and then the ribbon changes and shows me these various different data options. I'm going to click on What If, and I'm going to select the Goal Seek option. Now let's look at the three inputs that we have in the Goal Seek box. It says Set Cell to Value by Changing Cell. So what we want to do is we want to set cell D10, that's the cell that's got our total, and we want to set it to value 87 because that's going to be the grade we need for a B+, and we want to change the cell for the final exam. So that's the cell C9. So once we have all three of those values in the three fields respectively, and we click on OK, Excel will go through all of the different options, and it determines in order to get an 87 in the course as our total value, we need to get a final exam score of a 90.2. Now one of the things you can do is you could run several examples here and say, okay, what will I need for a final grade of, and then I can put in 87 here. And over here I can say exam score, and so to get an 87%, what I'm going to need is a 90.2. And if you want to experiment with these different things, we can go back up and try Goal Seek again. So if I say Goal Seek here under What If Analysis, we want to once again take a look at D10, and we want to set this value. Let's see, could I get a 90 in here by changing the value that I have in C9? Let's see. Oh, well, I could, but I hope the professor has extra credit because I'm going to need 102 on my final exam. So let's see. So if I'm going to get a 90%, I would need a 100.2. And what if I wanted to go ahead and score an 83? Let's click over here and see. I'm going to select What If Analysis, Goal Seek, and once again our total is going to be in cell D10. The value that we're seeking is 83, and what we're going to change is good old cell C9. Don't worry about the dollar signs that show up here. The absolute and relative references don't matter in Goal Seek. And to get an 83, we're going to need to earn a 76.8 on the final. So I better get studying if I want to get a B+ for the course, because I'm going to need an A- on the final exam. Now I also showed my formatting, which looks like this. We can see that we've got everything italicized except for total. We got our titles boldface, and we can see in D1 we've actually got the column word wrapped as well as justification for our titles up top in B1 through D1. So let's go ahead and create that formatting. So let's click and highlight from A2 down to A12. We're also going to do a discontinuous selection. So if I hold down the Command key Mac, the Control key on Windows, I can make that discontinuous selection. I can select these other titles here. So from B1 to E1, and I can also select from B11 to C11. Once I have all of those selected, I can then click back on my Home tab. I can click on the B to boldface, and all of those titles that I've highlighted in my discontinuous selection will turn bold. Now, if I want to italicize things, I can click on the I for italics. If I want to get rid of the italics just for the total here, I could click on A10 and click on I again. That will remove the italics. If I want to add an underline up here, I can highlight the cells that I want to underline. So that's from B1 to D1. This button up here allows me to select borders for the cells that I've highlighted, and I already have the bottom border selected, so I'm going to go ahead and click that button. Now I'm going to click into cell D1, and I'm going to click on the wrap text button. Notice what that does is it takes the current cell width and it wraps the text around there, so it sort of creates a two-line title in there. I'm going to highlight these cells. I'm going to select Right Justify, and there we have it. Now, GoalSeek is hugely powerful. I hope you learned a lot there, maybe a little bit of extra in formatting too. Keep at it.